Hello everyone, I'm Erica, the host today, and I'd like to welcome you all to the discussion about legal taxation. People usually just know how to pay taxes correctly and have complete faith in the government. But when we dig further, we discover that many tax victims face injustice and have no recourse. Today, we'd want to express our gratitude to Fanny and Angel for sharing this case, affecting democracy and human rights in Taiwan. A country that follows the rule of law is one that is ruled both by the people and by the law. Is Taiwan a democratic country with the rule of law? I believe the answer is 99% yes. Why not 100%? Because there is a unit in Taiwan that can claim that the court does not matter. Let us now listen to Fanny's story.
Hello, Fanny Hsu speakers and good friends online. I'm proud to be a member of Tai Ji Men. When my body and soul were at the bottom of the valley in 2009, some colleagues recommended that I enter Tai Ji Men. During the first few years, I practiced Qigong, attended lectures, and participated in variety activities. I didn't know much about Tai Ji Men case, which occurred 25 years ago. But after many experts and scholars analyzed it from their professional perspectives, I realized how many government officials broke the law in this case and how serious the bureaucratic style of officials protecting each other was, which was truly incredible. I'm hopeful that with the help of many people, we will be able to create a clear tax environment for future generations and ourselves. During the presidential election of 1996, the government, in the name of religious crackdown, has occurred Tai Ji Men be affected by. On December 19th that year, prosecutor Hou Kuan-len took an unscientific and outrageous approach to the case, attempting to eliminate Tai Ji Men and divert attention away from the numerous cases that were taking place at the time. In turn, the National Taxation Bureau imposed unjustified taxes on Tai Ji Men as a result of Hou Kuan-len's indictment, despite the fact that the Supreme Court ruled on July 13, 2007, that Tai Ji Men was not guilty of fraud, tax evasion, or violations of tax codes, and that all innocent victims were awarded compensation for their wrongful imprisonment in 2009, and that the supervisory court also filed a correction. The National Taxation Bureau still states what the court said doesn't count and continue to issue the illegal tax bill, wanting us to pay more or less. This practice really hurts people. In fact, Tai Ji Men is a Qigong martial art 门派 recognized by the Supreme Administrative Court. There's no need to pay taxes under our country's tax laws, and other groups of the same nature have never been taxed. So why did the National Taxation Bureau tax Tai Ji Men alone? And since the Tai Ji Men has been around for 55 years, its nature has never changed. So why was it taxed only between 1991 to 1996, but not before or after? After years of persistence and effort, the National Taxation Bureau admitted its error and took the initiative to reduce the tax bill to zero for the years 1991 to 1996. except for 1992, leaving only the year 1992 to be taxed. How can there be different ruling when the Tai Ji Men is clearly the same? This is extremely perplexing, and I'm afraid it will become an international joke. Eric Rux, president of the European Interfaith Forum for Religious Freedoms, considered Taiwan one of the best performing democracies in the world, but finds it difficult to understand why these dishonest civil servants are allowed to persecute Tai Ji Men so thoroughly. When injustice occurs in a democracy, the impact can be worse than in a totalitarian state because it lowers the global standard of democracy. Later, on August 21st, 2020, the National Enforcement Agency unlawfully and unsuccessfully auctioned, then seized Tai Ji Men's sacred land in Miaoli and not nationalizing it. Despite the fact that the National Taxation Bureau and the National Enforcement Agency had planned to share the execution bonus a few months previously, this is a significant irony for democratic Taiwan. This is a false case. Even a large organization like Tai Ji Men was tortured for 25 years. If ordinary people encounter such a thing, I fear they will only cry silently in the dark. As a result, we must continue to work hard on the reform of tax system for the benefit of all people. This is the fundamental principle of being human. We pay all the tax that should be paid, but we will not pay a penny that we should not pay. In fact, the vast majority of government employees follow the law to the letter. I also hope that the few offending judges will serve the people with conscience, seeking fairness and justice in all things, rather than simply satisfying their personal desires and causing suffering to the people. May our government soon wake up, admit its mistakes, return our sacred land, so that we can get back on track and create a beautiful home of love and peace. This is what I have to say. Thank you so much.
After hearing Fanny's story, I'm convinced that if it were up to me, I would have already compromised on how much to pay a bit, right? Because I'm afraid of getting into trouble and allow their behavior to go unchecked, which is like a tumor growing larger and larger, which should not be the case. Kenneth Jacobson, a notable American human rights lawyer and professor at Temple University School of Law, famously observed that continuing to make a mistake is just as bad as doing it in the first place. I wholeheartedly agree with this statement. I hope that our government will wake up soon and recognize its errors. I'm going to invite my longtime friend Angel, who I know for 22 years, to tell you about the mistake the government has made.
Hello, Erica, panelists, and good friends online. In 2005, a colleague recommended that I join Tai Ji Men. I was timid, shy, insecure, and resentful before joining Tai Ji Men. After joining Tai Ji Men, I learned to relax and think positively by practicing Qigong and meditation. Shifu also frequently reminds us to learn well, quit bad habits, and be loyal to our parents. As a result, I have been untying the knot between my father for over 20 years and recommending that he joined Tai Ji Men. My father became a member and began practicing Qigong every day. When my father returned to the hospital, the doctor was surprised that he had taken some kind of panacea to cure his stomach problems for more than 20 years, and my father was slowly getting over the pain of my mother's deaths in this happy, positive Tai Ji Men family. However, Tai Ji Men was subjected to constant suffering from the law and taxes following the 1219 injustice case. Between 1998 and 2002, the Ministry of Finance's Appeal Committee revoked the illegal taxation sanctions for 5 times, all of which urged the NTB to find out the nature of red envelopes for the master. So, in 2002, Zhang Zhenhe led the Taipei National Taxation Bureau to create his own letter check firm. The survey subjects were selected by him, and the survey results were published the following year. All 206 people said the red envelope was a gift in response to the letter, but the Taipei National Taxation Bureau withheld this critical evidence, falsely claiming that only 9 people had given the gift, causing Tai Ji Men to suffer. Throughout the litigation, Tai Ji Men repeatedly requested that the National Taxation Bureau produce the 206 copies of the concealed letter check form, but they either refused or delayed producing this evidence. Furthermore, before the case was resolved, the original trial judge was transferred, and the successor judge who did not hold a preliminary hearing to conduct the investigation process, nor did he ask the NTB for evidence in favor of Tai Ji Men, but instead directly believed the NTB's false claim that only 9 people said they were gifts. Tai Ji Men won the case in 1991, 1993, 1994, and 1995 after years of effort, and the tax penalties were dismissed, except for the individual income tax penalties of year 1992. This type of ruling is analogous to slicing an apple into 6 slices, with one of the slices transforming into a guava. This is a bullish decision. President Tsai Ing-wen, as a beacon of democracy in human rights rule Taiwan, should immediately vindicate the Tai Ji Men injustice case as a matter of justice in her transition. On July 13, 2007, the Supreme Court ruled that Tai Ji Men was not guilty of fraud, tax evasion, or violations of tax codes because the tax case was derived from a criminal case. Thus, the tax penalty should be revoked. The National Taxation Bureau and Executive Office illegally auctioned off the sacred land of Tai Ji Men on August 21, 2020, which is an insult to the country and a violation of human rights by the judges. The Tai Ji Men case has been delayed for 25 years and has gone through 4 presidents. Just as Kenneth Jacobson, the professor of Temple University, once said, allowing and perpetrating an injustice is as bad as inflicting that injustice in the first place. It is never too late to do the right things, and the government of Taiwan should do the right things. I hope that the government of Taiwan will take human rights seriously and transform the country into a truly democratic rule of law state. Thank you for taking the time to read what I have to say.
Thank you, Angel, for sharing. I used to think she was quiet and had something on her mind when I first met her. But now, she is able to analyze rationally and is concerned about national issues. The act of hiding evidence and lying that there are only 9 people has actually violated the criminal law of misrepresentation of business registration, forgery of official documents, and hiding evidence, which can be up to 7 years in prison. As a civil servant who dares to take a big risk, is really lust for profit and playing with the law. Just now, Angel also mentioned the former Finance Minister Zhang Shenghe with the meeting of the Legislative Yuan public hearing. So I am very curious. Here is the video of the public hearing at that time. Let's take a look.
In the criminal and legislative aspects, Tai Ji Men has been declared innocent of all charges. Tai Ji Men has won the case. As for the National Taxation Bureau in the Executive Yuan system, our appeal has been heard in the Supreme Court. The final decision of the 3 court trials confirmed Tai Ji Men innocent. At the National Taxation Bureau, within the Ministry of Finance's appeal system, Tai Ji Men once again won the case. Even the control yuan decided that Tai Ji Men is innocent. I can't think of any ways after numerous legislators have inquired regarding this case. I can't think of any other course of action in our country's legal system can be taken to solve the case. I really don't know what is going on. Is it how our country's legal system is designed?
This case has been dragged for more than 10 years and is unable to be resolved. The administrative agencies have to take full responsibility, while the administrative agencies exercise administrative discretion. They have to ensure that people's human rights on taxation are protected, which is the most important spirit and objective.
The whole judicial system has proved Tai Ji Men innocent. There's no way the investigation by the tax agencies is clearer than that by the judicial department.
I know this issue has wasted too much time and resource. This is very serious, and it has shaken the 5 branches of government and the foundation of the nation.
Calling on the Taxation Bureau to revoke its illegal tax bills. You just ignore them. Hey, you think you are above us? You ignore courts, the control yuan, and even the legislative yuan. You really think you're the boss?
All the information and evidence is here. It's spread out all over the floor. And you clearly know that you are in the wrong. What you've said in the past is questionable. But you want to continue to make the same mistake? That's bad. We request that the Ministry of Finance conclude this case in 2 months. Exactly what to do and what are you going to do? Don't delay anymore.
Gifts in nature. The others all say gifts too. Let the NTB of the Central Area submit the report to the Ministry of Finance. It's the NTB of the Central Area. It's not good to let them take full responsibilities. Just report to the ministry. Okay, we'll do as the Deputy Minister says. We'll send our official report to the Ministry of Finance. Just now we said to revoke. Revoke it? Okay, area will report to the Ministry of Finance.
The Ministry of Finance sent letters to legislator Qiu Jingtian, Xing Zhetu, and Justin Chow saying it had demanded the National Taxation Bureau of the Central Area to revoke the execution pursuant to Article 40 of the Tax Collection Act. 4 days later, the National Taxation Bureau of the Central Area in turn sent a letter to the Hsinchu branch of the Administrative Enforcement Agency requesting it to stop the execution pursuant to Clause 3 of Article 9 of the Administrative Enforcement Law.
The waving red envelope is a traditional culture since ancient times. It's always a custom. But the government surprisingly asks the recipient of the gift to pay tax. Is there any mistake? Even if the value of the gift exceeds the legal amount and needs to pay tax, it is the giver who needs to pay. I want to give a blessing, but the person was built for it. Isn't this strange? The Tai Ji Men takes case from a criminal case, and the criminal case has been vindicated, but the tax bill is still not revoked, which is really unbelievable. I hope that President Tsai Ing-wen's transformation of justice will be implemented soon, and that the country's fair and sound tax system will be improved to remove the tumors in the system, so that Taiwan can become a real country with human rights and the rule of law. If you care about and love this land, please like and subscribe our channel and share. Finally, let's enjoy the song, Human Rights for World Citizens. And I would like to pray with all my friends for a peaceful world with a conscience and human rights. Thank you all.